All right, so let's see what's going on. What happened in this goal? Why did we concede it? Well, first of all, there are two sides of the screen. One side, it's a 3-on-3, and the other side 4-on-2. So that right there goes to show you how bad we set up defensively. Why is De Jong looking somewhere else? I have no idea here. But De Jong is like looking away from the play. But this is totally on Ferran Torres, because look at Ferran Torres right here. Look at where he's at. Look at where he's at right now. So Koundé has one guy here. Balde has one guy here. So I'm not sure why Ferran Torres is there and what he's doing when there's a guy right behind you. When you're a forward and you get back and defend on a corner kick, I'm telling you, because I used to play striker, right? So when you get back to play one-on-one or to sit on the post. If you're not going to sit on the post, then you need to be man on man. And who is your man? Like, who is your man? There's no IQ here. Like, this is a blown coverage all throughout. But the problem is, look at Ferran. Just stare at Ferran Torres. What does he do on this play? He tries to I don't know if he's faking that he's going to go inside to header it, but it's nowhere near close to be. So he's literally just making a run here, like if he was a striker. It was just ridiculous, and we're just leaving this guy here wide open. Some people go as to say that that this is all Lamine Yamal, but Lamine Yamal is way too far away from the play. So is Fermin Lopez. So the players who stay up, these are the players who their assignment is to attack in transition rather than defend that play. There's enough Barcelona players to defend this play. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is 8 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 Mallorca players to 8 Barcelona jerseys. There's nowhere near. This never should have been a goal. This should always be defended. We have learned nothing for the Inter Milan game, in my opinion. So if we're just gonna have a blown coverage, like this is so ABC that this is like a second division mistake. That's how bad it is. And look at Ferran Torres. Look, he just kind of jumps it, and it's like, I don't know if he's pretending that he's going to get to that, but that is not even close, man. So Rayo Vallecano, as always, gave us so many problems. What did Barcelona did wrong? What did Rayo Vallecano did great? What does Barcelona need to do going forward to fix their issues, their defensive line? In this video, we are going to cover all of that. So thank you guys for being here. It's Tactical Tuesday, and I hope you're doing much better. I mean, it's been a couple of days, and guys, it's just match day 3. And it's, you know what? It's just a draw. It's not a big deal. Third road away game. And not a lot of people are saying that. Even Lamine Yamal came out and said it. I think even Hansi Flick said it as well. That most people don't just grasp over the fact that we've had 3 games away from home now. I'm not making any excuses, and we're gonna get into everything. But before we do that, guys, please go ahead and like this video. That helps me out a ton. And if you subscribe, if you're not subscribed on this channel, look, we have 3,174 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for it. Before this month is my birthday on the 26th of September. I'm not asking you for anything. I just ask you to give me 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. So if you guys can help me do that, that would be incredible. First, I want to mention what really worked really well, and it was the link-up play, and it was working to perfection in the first couple of minutes of the game. And I thought that, Barcelona was playing on their terms early on, and then as the game went on, like 15-20 minutes, we started playing on Rayo Vallecano's terms, because they started exploiting or highline way too easily, and we're gonna talk about it. But first, let's take a look at the link-up play with Dani Olmo in the beginning of the game. As we can see here, look, what we're seeing is a really good connection here with Dani Olmo. Koundé is gonna make a good run. Koundé's going to make a good run like this, and then what would open up some room it's gonna open up some room for Lamine Yamal to just kind of make another run. And this way, then almost open up the score line because Lamine Yamal takes a great shot, and we can see the link up play with Dani Olmo. He's going to read it perfectly, as you can see right there. Lamine Yamal is all by himself, and for some reason, we got away from that. And that was a very, very good sign early in the game. Lamine Yamal takes a good shot. It gets saved, but it's no problem. At least we were creating since the beginning. What I do want to highlight on this play, right? I want you guys to see the kind of pressure that we're playing on early on the game, and I thought it was a good sign. But unfortunately, we couldn't just keep this on. But we didn't. We weren't giving Rayo Vallecano any room to breathe. The high pressure was working perfectly, and we had basically the whole field covered here, even with Pedri and Pedri and Frankie, as we can see them right there on the side of the screen, and. Rayo Vallecano is going to make mistakes. They are going to they're going to pass the ball around. In reality, here, this guy should be doing is that he should be just being patient. I guess he's a little worried. He's a little worried about Lamine Yamal here closing up the gap. But what's gonna happen is we're gonna force them into mistakes, as we can see right there. Boom. Pedri Gonzalez gets the ball back, and then we can go. We can do what we do. Unfortunately, this wasn't. We didn't play with the intensity in this game. We didn't play with we didn't play with heart. There was really just a flat out bad performance. Now, I do want to talk about Eric because most people said, Eric had a bad game. Even after the game, I said, Eric was losing way too many balls. He's now working as a CB. After rewatching the game for the second time, and after looking at some of the plays that I want to talk about, I do want to highlight that not everything about Eric was bad. Eric in the build-up play is important, and actually, he did a lot of things that a lot of people may not talk about, and that's why I want to shine a light on the fact that not everything about Eric was negative in this game, and we're about to see it in fruition. He's build-up play, he's carrying the ball, and that's exactly what he's gonna do here. He's gonna hit it in stride, and we can see here. You can see very, very smartly. He attacks all the spacing. That's exactly what Hansi Flick likes to do. That's exactly what Íñigo Martínez did all the time at Barcelona. He would just attack all the spacing, and his progression passes were off the charts. And as we can see, he plays it with Lamine. Lamine gets the ball. And one thing I do want to mention on Lamine Yamal, and I cannot say this enough. We can say he had a bad game. It's okay. Yes, he had a bad game. But in many instances, I noticed after watching the game again, Lamine Yamal kept asking for the ball and asking for the ball and asking for the ball, to the point where he got a little frustrated in this game because he wasn't getting the ball enough. He had 15 touches in this game. That's never near enough to the amount that you want him to touch the ball. He averages 45 touches a game. So when he's getting 15 touches, man, that's telling you something. And if our offense goes through Lamine, then Lamine needs to get the ball more. That is just a fact. And like I said, he's going to lose the ball. He just sometimes he needs to just have more IQ. In some situations, he just needs to pass the ball back. No need to go try to dribble between three players. He gets dispossessed, unfortunately, right? Again, we're going to be talking about Lamine Yamal later on in this video, but what I do want to highlight here is, you can say all you want about Dani Olmo, right? We have criticized him. We all have annihilated him, and like he is not doing what he needs to be doing. Now, one thing that I will tell you about Dani Olmo, he was one of the players who was with the most pressures in this game. If anybody was playing the Hansi Flick system in this game, was Dani Olmo. Now, I don't say that to say that he had a good game, but we needed that intensity from everybody else, and we just didn't get it. Even Pedri, in some instances, was not doing the pressure. But I do understand why because Pedri gets tired, because sometimes Pedri has to go and defend for Frankie and defend for himself. So he's doing a lot of work. But this is something that worked really, really nicely. And this was all thanks to Dani Olmo here, who had a nice pressure. And then Pedri is going to do the same. And this is the only way pressure is going to work, if everyone pressures, because we are going to force into mistakes. And we can see the pressure was there. The player tries to pass it back, and then Rafinha is going to take advantage of the situation, because he's just faster. He's a better athlete, and he's going to get to the spot even faster than the defense would. And now we're going to be talking about this in particular. And honestly, like to me, this was a horrible mistake by Rafinha. This was barely the 7th minute of the game, at a tough place to play. Just take the easy play. Why is Rafinha trying to shoot with his right foot out of position with no angle on it? And the way that he does it too, like, he does just a hope and a prayer, man. Like, I mean, there's no angle here. Let me try to move the screen, because sometimes I feel like I'm watching something, and I'm showing the screen something different. And as we can see here, I mean, if this isn't a hope and a prayer here, what are we doing? Why not just hold the ball and just give it to Ferran Torres for an easy goal? That's all you needed to do. Just don't even pass it yet. Just hold on to it, stop the play, give it to Ferran, easy goal. We literally let Rayo Vallecano off the hook in the 7th minute. Okay, that you can't do that. Anything they can get, it's a victory lap for them. We cannot make. They're not making anything easy for us. Why are we making things easy for them and just taking a difficult shot here unnecessarily? That was ridiculous to me. So one thing I want to mention is, unfortunately, in this game, right, we were getting annihilated in the backfield. I don't know how to fix this, because honestly, like, if we can see, if I'm looking at this play, right, and I'm looking at this line right here, Rayo Vallecano is confusing. It's confusing Barcelona a little bit, because we can see how there's 2 players who are literally offside. There's 2 players here who are offside, and Barcelona, they're gonna trick Barcelona into like, okay, we have the highline figured out, but oh wait, there's this guy over here who is by himself, and the balls that were getting, that's how they were getting to us, by the way. They were literally, let me move it back a little. They were literally doing this time and time again. They would have one or two players offside, and one would come in behind them, and that's how they were getting us every single time. And this is, honestly, if we're honest, this is just a simple pass, and look how much danger from the goalkeeper. This was just a single pass, and already creating so much danger for Rayo Vallecano. We cannot be this wide open behind the highline, man. This is terrible. And as a matter of fact, this is one of the reasons why I'm going to show you this right here. Look, Barcelona, okay, right. So Real Madrid is number 1 in chances conceded, and the worst is Barcelona with 12. This is embarrassing. We cannot have this if we want to be a serious team in La Liga. We cannot be the dead last in chances conceded, in big chances conceded. If we want to have a shot at winning La Liga, we have to be at least middle of the pack, not being the worst. The worst is ridiculous, man. Like, I don't expect Barcelona even to be the first, because we don't play defense first. We like to play. We defend while possessing the ball. That's how we defend. So we're never gonna be the best defense, but at least be middle of the pack. This is just too easy, and a goalkeeper doing this shouldn't be a dangerous play. Like, we should be set in a way where even long balls, we can defend them more easily. But as we can see here, we're about to see it in action. He gets the ball like way too comfortable, pass 1-2 touch, and look, wide open. I mean, we're already like Eric is trying to close the gap on Kunde. There's nobody in the middle of the field. And then this player just goes right by himself. I mean, this is way too easy. Like, we should not be allowing a Rayo Vallecano team. I don't know why this wasn't a goal. I mean, incredible stop by Joan GARCIA here. I mean, look at that. Like, the fact that we have a goalkeeper, it's insane, man. I still can't believe some of these saves that I'm watching. Joan GARCIA, like, it just ridiculously good, but also is ridiculously bad. Like, we're just leaving him out to dry. We're not helping him out by any means. At least with Espanyol, they had a bad team, but they were set up low blocks to help him out. And in this instance, I mean, I think he may just get goalkeeper of the year again, because with Barcelona, he's gonna have a lot of chances to show what he can do, and boy, did he do that. Okay, so what I do want to show here is about Lamine. This is what concerns me. This is the third time in a row where Lamine Yamal has picked up the ball in this area right here. Look, in this area right here, and he tries to dribble inside to create his shot, his signature shot, right? But teams are crowding it up, and you can see teams having an emphasis on that. You can see teams crowding it up to steal the ball from him, and as they do, then they obviously gonna go in transition, right? That's how they want to do that. And this is the third time in a row where I've noticed where Lamine Yamal loses the ball in the half moon here, and teams attack us in transition. And this is exactly what happened. He tried to dribble past two players, and it's a little infuriating because he's leaving us with our pants down, and that's just not, we can't allow that. We're too overconfident in this game, and not this game, but like I said, teams are noticing this trend, and they are crowding up the half moon, and they're stealing the ball. And as they do that, they know we struggle in transition. So that's my thing. And like I said, here, look at how they do the one touch, and they are already like playing with so much danger. So Eddie Garcia also here just gives up, man. This is terrible. He just gives up. Let me rewind it a little bit so you guys can get a better look at it, because I think Eddie Garcia there. This is why we gave away so many chances, because we don't make the right decisions. Look, Eddie is right there, man. Like, he just gives up on a play. He just lies, and we're too focused. We're too focused on where the ball is, because Balde should be a little wider. We should never be leaving this guy. We should never be leaving this guy wide open. To be honest, we're just leaving him wide open, and that's not good. That's just a blown coverage there. To be honest, look, in first division football, La Liga, never a team. This is how bad we are on defense, and it probably is not all just the highline, because this isn't a highline thing. This is a communication issue, because look at where Eric is right here. Eric is right here, and Balde has to kind of cover that area, where the CB area, right? And he's leaving Palazon all by himself. And that's just a horrendous play. Fortunately for us, Rayo Vallecano doesn't capitalize. But if it's a team who has a lot more quality, then this will be a goal. Like we can see right here. I mean, he takes way too long, and then he cuts inside. He tries to get the goal, but he doesn't get it. So again, this is just so many wounds, man. So many issues, so many blown coverages. It's crazy to me. Now that to me, this is not a pen. Let me know in the comments if you guys think this is a pen, but I just don't think it's a pen. But that's gonna be Lamine Yamal getting hit. I think we were lucky that the bar didn't exist. He loses control, and then he whatever the referee says stands. So he said penalty, and we got lucky here. Now we got away with it. It wasn't pretty, but we got the job done. We got the 1-0 in Vallecas, which was the toughest thing to do. So this is one of the few times where Barcelona really play like Barcelona that we all know and love, and this is just going to be a transitional play, where Valde he's just going to do like an individual play right here, and he's got Rafinha wide, but he's just gonna take it himself. And I like when he's this fearless. I like when he makes these runs like this. He should have passed it to Rafinha right at this second, and he doesn't do that. He goes to Ferran Torres. One of the few times where Ferran Torres actually had good reads, because I don't think he had a good game at all. He makes an incredible read here to Dani Olmo, and Dani Olmo just goes in the middle. And honestly, man, this should have been a goal. This is vintage Dani Olmo. We put Dani Olmo in two of his favorite situations, in front of goal, just ready to bang it in. And Dani Olmo of last season, I'm not going to lie. Right now, he's not in form, because the Dani Olmo that we all know and love, he bangs this one in 10 out of 10 times. And the fact that he just wides it, that wasn't even close, man. Again, we're going to show in this play, we're going to show how Eric it was lacking sometimes in making a few mistakes, losing the ball, getting dispossessed, and that's exactly what we're gonna see here. Look, Rayo Vallecano has done a good job of making good pressures, and it's gonna force Barcelona to make mistakes. That's how you do the pressure. That's how you do pressure. Maybe what I think it's happening here. Maybe Koundé is too complacent. See right here, Koundé. At the bottom of the screen, he should be getting closer to Eric to help him out, but he doesn't. He just stands there, and when you stand there, guess what's gonna happen, man? What's gonna happen is that this player is gonna play with more emphasis, and he's gonna have an edge to the ball, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. You see that? The player's already running. Koundé is waiting, and the player's already running for the ball. This is how we lose battles. This is how we lose games. We didn't have the intensity. We didn't have the sharpness. People need to be running towards the ball, not waiting for it. And like I said, Koundé should have taken off to help out Eric. Eric tries here, and that's gonna be an Eric ball. That's gonna be on Eric because he lost the ball, right? But it's just Koundé's fault. Like, he's just look, and he still stands. He's still just like, oh man, you see that lazy move he did there? Even after knowing that he wasn't gonna get there, he didn't try his best. He's like, did it like an oof and like, oh man, like he wasn't even trying to go fast at the ball. Like, luckily for us, it's offsides. So as we can see here, they're gonna open up. Those long passes, man, every single time were causing problems. Even when we had three at the back, Koundé was at the bottom of the screen here, and we still couldn't defend. And as we can see, like, even when we had the coverage good, and they were just giving goes. We're actually working to perfection as well. It wasn't just a highline thing. I think it's more like how we set our defense. But look how they do the one touch, and they're just working, man. Like, they open up the field here. They're gonna give it to Frutos, who's gonna take a pretty nice shot. And you know what? It doesn't go in, but it sets up the goal where they actually tie the game. All right, so let's see what's going on. What happened in this goal? Why did we concede it? Well, first of all, there are two sides of the screen. One side, it's a 3-on-3. And the other side is it's literally that's literally a 4-on-2. So that right there goes to show you how bad we set up defensively. Why is De Jong looking somewhere else? I have no idea here. But De Jong is like looking away from the play. But this is totally on Ferran Torres, because look at Ferran Torres right here. Look at where he's at. Look at where he's at right now. So Koundé has one guy here. Balde has one guy here. So I'm not sure why Ferran Torres is there and what he's doing when there's a guy right behind you. When you're a forward and you get back and defend on a corner kick, I'm telling you because I used to play striker, right? So when you get back to play one on one or to sit on the post. If you're not going to sit on the post, then you need to be man on man. And who is your man? Like, who is your man? That there's no IQ here. Like, this is a blown coverage all throughout. But the problem is, look at Ferran. Just stare at Ferran Torres. What does he do on this play? He tries to I don't know if he's faking that he's going to go inside to header it, but it's nowhere near close to be. So he's literally just making a run here, like if he was a striker. It was just ridiculous, and we're just leaving this guy here wide open. You know, some people go as to say that that this is all Lamine Yamal, but Lamine Yamal is way too far away from the play. So is Fermin Lopez. So the players who stay up, these are the players who are, their assignment is to attack in transition rather than defend that play. There's enough Barcelona players to defend this play. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is 8 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 Mallorca players to 8 Barcelona jerseys. There's nowhere near. This never should have been a goal. This should always be defended. We have learned nothing for the Inter Milan game, in my opinion. So if we're just gonna have a blown coverage, like this is so ABC that this is like a second division mistake. That's how bad it is. And look at Ferran Torres. Look, he just kind of jumps it, and it's like, I don't know if he's pretending that he's gonna get to that, but it's not even close, man. And of course, we get scored on, and it's all on Ferran. So through passes, right? Time and time and time again. Through passes were just as bad as the high line, and they just knew how to get us. We tried to play the high line. We were getting caught, and fortunately for us, we have Joan GARCIA. And also, if this is probably Mbappe, is scoring this. Like, even for as good as Joan GARCIA is, I believe Mbappe is probably going to score this, or he's going to just cut inside and just score all by himself. Try to fake the shot or whatever. But I'm so happy that we had Joan GARCIA for this game. But against tougher opponents who have more quality players, this is probably going to be a goal. So just warning you guys, for as good as a goalkeeper is, these one-on-ones, sometimes they're just a goal. It doesn't matter how good you are as a goalkeeper. But I was very happy. Like I said, look, once again, we have the high line here, right? But see how they always have players over the line. They intentionally were offsides in this game, but they have players coming in behind to break that, to kind of trick Barcelona thinking that they had the high line figured out. And this is very smart by Rayo Vallecano here. He breaks the line, of course, right? Barcelona is going to try to get back, and we don't have the players. That's another issue. We don't have the players to get back once the high line gets beat up. So that's a little bit of an issue. So as we can see, we're so happy that Joan GARCIA once again saved us. Easy Palazon, takes a shot. Joan GARCIA is right there, and they scored, but this is offsides. And that's basically the last play of the game. So there you have it, folks. Barcelona didn't play great. The long crosses, the long balls, it's insanely dangerous for Barcelona right now. Right now is the perfect time to fix things. Through 3 games, we can see what's working. We can see what's not working. We have 2 weeks to prepare for Valencia, and now we have to come in with a vengeance. So we have to just take this game over, and hopefully we can play it at home. We shall see. But I think Barcelona is not as bad as people making it sound to be. People making it sound like we lost 3-0. Thank God, right? Thank God we have Joan GARCIA to save us in these situations. And at the end of the day, we can have a goalkeeper that we can rest at ease, that when a rubber needs to meet the road, we have a keeper that is tough to get beat on, so it's tough to score on. Guys, if you haven't liked the video, please do so. If you like this type of content, also consider subscribing. We are at 3,181 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 4,000 before my birthday, which is in September 26th. By the end of the month, if you guys can help me out, if you haven't subscribed, that's the one thing that I will ask you, and I will read you guys on in the comments.